All right, Shalom Akim. All right, it's the highest spirit way in Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp, giving our honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, by Shem Havashai, by Shem Kakudash. I also want to give double honor to our apostles of great millstone, rule well, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right, and what I want to go into is basically, be wrong for the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Be wrong for the kingdom. All right, because you're gonna have situations that is gonna challenge you, that's gonna attack your ego, whatever it may be. And coming into this truth, you might not be used to that. You might be a newer brother coming into the camp, and the older brother might tell you certain things, and you might internalize it the wrong way. You know what I mean? But there is a standard. There is a standard of how we are to behave in this truth. There is a standard of how we are to carry ourselves in this truth. And you may not be used to being a part of something that implements a standard. All right. And you may, of course, keep the laws and things of that nature. And you might be right according to yourself, but you also have to be willing to listen to those other eyes of the Most High, those other mirrors, all right, which are really brothers in this truth that really, show you different versions of who you are. All right. Because you have self-reflection, all right, which you mirror yourself through, you mirror yourself through your own mind's eye, so to speak, and you dig into your own soul through something called introspecting, which intro means inward, spec means to see. But then you have other men's view of you, and what's important to know is those other men are men of Yahweh Hashem Havashai, and they have the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Havashai when they look at you, when they talk to you, things of that nature. So men of the Lord tell you certain things, all right, you have to be willing to listen, all right. And when you were in the world, you may have been a leader or a manager or in a superior position, if you want to call it that, and you might be the stand-up guy or the guy that everybody else looked to for answers. And you might have been that guy, and then you came into this truth, you might find yourself being, one of a lesser position, for lack of better words. You might come into this truth, and you might not be a leader or whatever. You might just be a regular, in a holding size or whatever it may be. Might just be a part of the congregation in that camp, so to speak. And now you have to get used to, being corrected, and it could be a stumbling block for you. It could be a stumbling block if you are older than the men and the heads of your camp. That could be a stumbling block for you. You're 10, 15, 20 years older than the leaders in your camp. And it's only really a stumbling block once you look at them through the flesh and not the spirit. All right? But, in a nutshell, you have to just be willing to be wrong, man. All right? An elder pull you to the side and tell you certain things, or, he might correct you on certain things, and you might not be good with internalizing that, man. If you feel like that's you, then pray to Yahweh Bashem Havashai to give you a thicker skin, man. All right, so you won't get all messed up when you do get corrected, okay? Because there is a standard in this truth, and we do have to orient ourselves towards that standard, You just can't have this mentality, I keep the laws, I do the work, can't nobody tell me nothing. No, it's, you have to adhere to that standard, and it could be implemented by other men in your camp, whether they are leaders or not. And even being in a leadership position as a man, another man can tell you, he can't tell you that you're wrong, or he can't correct you, all right? Because at the end of the day, we're men. And we're not always adhesive, or we're not always at our best state when it comes to being in a leadership position. You deviate as a man because you're still in the flesh, man. But when it comes down to it, man, it's not worth going, back and forth and wrestling and this things of that nature just to prove that you're not wrong. It's okay to be wrong. At the end of the day, it's okay to be wrong. Okay? But furthermore, Just yeah, we came into this truth, and the Mossad uses the body, and he uses certain scenarios to refine you, because you are likened to silver or precious metal being extracted from the earth. But as you may know, that when you extract metals from the earth, it looks rusty. And that's how we are when the Mossad called into this truth, because we didn't come into this truth and instantly become perfect. We came into this truth to become perfect. We are a working process within ourselves, man. Okay? And the Mossad uses different scenarios and the brothers and different things to extract those unwanted waste from your soul, man. All right? And it's not going to feel good all the time, man. All right? At the end of the day, we go through evolutions in this truth, man. Or revolutions in this truth. We're constantly evolving in this truth, and we evolve through our experiences, man. All right? We evolve through our experiences, and that elevates us, man. That evolves us, okay? And that matures us in this truth. All right? Things that would destroy you 2 years ago, now you have a stronger spirit to just walk through it now, man. Wherever a correction may come, you may not know how to internalize a correction 2 years ago, but now you just say Khan and the water and Salak, and life goes on, But that's pretty much the point. We are a process within ourselves, man, and it's not just about calling Esau the devil or cursing out the so-called black woman, man. Hey, your woman could tell you that your woman can correct you. She can tell. See, I hate to say that now, because your woman might be watching this and see, I told you. But sometimes you might not be being a man. And your woman might be telling you, hey, you need to go out there and be a man. Go out there and do better for yourself. There's nothing wrong with doing better for yourself. You don't have to work a back-breaking job, or just work just to be broke in the name of the kingdom. Hey, King Solomon said, give me poverty nor riches. All right? He give you riches and you'll forget about your maker. But the most I give you a certain type of poverty, and you always in survival mode. You might not be eating out of a trash can type survival mode, but you might be in survival mode to a point where you don't have to be in that state of mind. You don't have to put yourself in a position where you just working, you on that hamster's wheel, man. It's nothing wrong with having a couple extra dollars, man. Okay? As long as it doesn't compromise your position in this faith. All right? And I'm kind of deviating to something else, or going into something else. But that's another thing too. We call ourselves kings, but kings are responsible. If a king runs an empire, or he has a kingdom, he's responsible for that treasury. He has a treasury. And the king has access to the money in his treasury. But a noble king, a disciplined king, is not going to use his access to his money to just feed his flesh. So if you are a brother that makes money or extra money or whatever it may be, that doesn't mean that you walk around without a standard, man. That doesn't mean you go around and using your money to ruin yourself, man. That's not a king. That's a servant. That's a peasant. That's a peasant, man. All right, that's why the Mossad gave us not only the laws, but he gave us wisdom from our forefathers to conduct ourselves like royalty, man. The book of Sirach, the book of Proverbs, that's royalty, okay? So I'm saying that to say, if you have more money or you get a better gig, that doesn't mean you start wilding out, start, multiplying women, start, releasing their women, start, ejaculating different women, multiplying baby mamas, because now you got a decent job. You're not moving like a king. You're not moving with wisdom. We still in hell, man. Okay? But I went into something else through the spirit, but that was on my spirit as well, man. And we got to pray to Yahweh Shai to give us that spirit to move like kings. All right? Maybe that could be the second lesson I do, but accept correction. But see, Babylon gives you the ability to function on a low so-called frequency. Babylon gives you the access to eat BS food and chase BS women, all right, all because they have vaginas or they're wearing tight clothing. Then you'll denounce your royalty, all right, you denounce your noble existence for short-term pleasures, man. All right, That's why the scripture says, "Give not thy soul unto harlots to set their foot upon your substance," man. All right, you giving harlots access to your soul and your dignity and your self-worth just for an exchange of instant gratification, man. All right, but we don't move like that, man. All right, the thing that separates a king from a peasant is standards, man. A peasant is happy that somebody threw him a loaf of bread or a piece of bread, but a king is selective about, you know, what he puts into his life, man. Okay, and it's very easy to just be, you know, a regular Jake, getting turned on everything that's shiny. But you know, that's part of, you know, being in this faith too, is to elevate, man. You can't be a Hebrew version of who you were in the world, man. You know, you can't be the same, basically the same person you were in the world, but now you wear fringes on Saturday. Now you just don't eat pork, you know, but you had a mentality of a nigga in the world, man. That's why it's so hard for Jake to, you know, grow their beards, or they still, you know, marring their beards and getting that hairline. The reason why it's so hard for you, because you never left the mindset of being in the world, man. See, when you mentally or spiritually let go of the world, the physical thing follows. It's easy to keep the laws now because you don't have a conflict of two kingdoms. You're in the kingdom of Babylon, or you're in the kingdom of Jerusalem, man, or the kingdom of Yahushua. Okay? With that, I hope your brothers are edified. You know, Salak for, you know, the spirit. You know, the spirit led me to something else, but, you know, that's just how it is in the spirit. But with that, I hope your brothers are edified. So the next time, Shalom.